Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Bailey, also known as CringeMcCringle, and welcome back. And I'm sure as you can tell by the sound of my voice, I'm a little sick. This is actually the first day that I've been able to talk. I got sick last Wednesday. It's Tuesday when I'm recording this, and this is the first day that I've been able to talk without it fully just not sounding like anything. So, yay. So hopefully that means I have my voice back tomorrow. I doubt it. But anyway, it's put a little bit of a damper on making this video, but here we are. I finally can record something now. And that means I should be able to get it out Friday. So if it's Friday and you're watching this, hello. I haven't plugged all the other social medias yet, so just take a look there. They will also be down in the description if you want to just follow me on everything else. I don't really post, so I don't know why you would, but if you want. Anyways, I hope that you guys had a better weekend than I did, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the video about first edition Bulkhead. If you did, think about subscribing, because I am currently on like kind of a year-long endeavor of trying to post every week, and so far I think it's going good, other than the whole being sick thing almost making it all just This week's video is going to be about a figure that I have a strong emotional attachment to, and I will explain why. So today, let's shift gears and let's talk about another Alternators figure, Alternators Prowl.
This figure came to us in the year 2005 as the 14th character in the Alternators line and was the first version of this mold to be released. And like all Alternators figures, he turns into a 1/24th scale model car.
More specifically, he turns into an Acura RSX / Honda Integra if you live in Japan, which was actually my first car. Now, okay, I only had the car for a couple of months because, like most 16-year-olds, I crashed it. Go me. It was a nice cold November rain that was slowly turning into ice, and like a dumbass, I was going about 40 around a curve that also went down, and at the bottom of the hill was a stoplight, and at the stoplight there was about 4 or 5 cars backed up, so needless to say, yeah, I rear-ended someone, and I rear-ended them bad. Their car was actually kind of alright. My car did not share the same fate. I totaled it, I bent the frame, busted the hood, the headlights, all of it. It was great. It was great. Life happens, though, I guess. That's the most positive spin that I can put on it. I haven't crashed since. I do still think about getting one of these because there is a heavy sense of nostalgia associated with this car for me. Only I think this time around I would actually get a stick shift because I know how to drive those now. And I would probably get a Type S, which is the fancier, more fast model. But those crack like 20,000 and I'm cheap. So we'll see if that ever happens. But another reason that I love this toy is because this was my first Alternators figure. He was given to me, I think in like Christmas of 2020. He's a very good mold, and I have every single version of this figure now.
The American, Japanese, and the blue release. I do also have Camshaft, which is the silver release, but I didn't grab him out of storage yet. So let's talk about this robot mode and why it's my favorite Alternators robot design. Firstly, it's a simple design. In fact, it's technically the most generic robot style of car-related Transformers. Front of the car folds down to make the chest, the arms pop out of the side, the rear of the car forms the legs, and the door wings are some fancy-looking kibble. Despite its simplicity, I like its unique style and how it tackles the robot mode. The entire upper torso is car. Arms are just a tad on the smaller side, but they don't look too bad. I love how the door wings are horizontal and not vertical on literally every other car former. The legs are also just massive pieces of rear car, which I find hysterical. Prowl never skips leg day. Now, let's talk about the coloring, which is the only real downside of this figure to me. I'm not a big fan of the blue that's used for the robot parts. The white and black molded plastic looks good, especially with highlights of red that are used throughout. But the blue is just not it. I think I would have been okay with a simple gray or even just a more saturated blue. This in-between grayish-blue color is just not for me. And that's where the Takara version of Prowl is better. His legs are actually gray and look way better. He's also a lot simpler of a deco compared to the American release, as he has less sheriff badges in this mode. And then there's the blue repaint, which is just nice. All three figures have a great head sculpt, a perfect G1 style with some nice red horns. Other design cues I also like are the wheel shoulders, bumper knees, and the nice detailing throughout. For articulation, Prowl's head is on a ball joint, so it can look all over. Arms can go forward, back, and out as well. Elbows are on a ball joint, so they not only bend, but they rotate as well. Hands are on a ball joint, and the fingers can open up. There is waist rotation, legs go forward, back, and out. Slight knee bend, and finally, ankles are on a ball joint. Posability is alright. It is an Alternators toy after all, so the kibble from the design kind of hinders everything, but it's not bad like, say, a Armada Sideswipe. This guy also has a stiff heel that sometimes is hard to open occasionally, and thus sometimes likes to fall down like an 80-year-old grandma. Prowl does come with some accessories too, in true Alternators fashion. He comes with a gun that becomes his 4-cylinder VTEC engine, and a weird little red nightstick that I feel like was probably later reused for some Star Wars Transformers. Anywho, the accessories help add a little dynamic action to him, and somehow Alternator Prowls went missing. The Binaltechs have theirs, but I don't know where Alternator Prowls is. But now that I have covered everything in robot mode, I think let's move on to the transformation. Transformation of this mold is super simple, and some people might think that makes it boring or not fun, but it actually is very nice to transform. With this figure, you're moving, rotating, and flipping lots of large chunks of car around, all for it to come together to an amazing vehicle mode. And here we have the vehicle modes. The Prowlers turn into a car that actually has two different names, the Acura RSX here in the United States and Canada, and the Honda Integra in Japan, which as stated earlier was my first car.
And man, oh man, do I miss this car. But since I know what the inside and the outside looks like, I can assure you that everything molded inside this interior is 100% accurate. I spent almost every day of the 4 months that I had this car inside of it, and it feels very nostalgic looking inside and seeing everything in there.
Everything is correct. The style of the seats, the dashboard, even the dials are correct. It looks awesome and has me heavily considering buying one again, despite the fact that I already have a nice new car that I should probably just keep. Small details throughout, like the exhaust, the brakes, the lights, the door handles, all looks perfect. And while the Prowl looks good, the Japanese repaint looks even better. Now molded in die-cast, this thing is quite heavy and dense for its size. The actual styling of the livery is a little different as well. Firstly, there isn't an Autobot logo or a sheriff badge adorning the hood of the vehicle anymore. It is now simply a blank space, and I prefer this look if I'm being honest. The lights on the roof are also a little different. The American release has this gray plastic breaking up the red, with that being excluded on the Japanese release. Again, I like these changes. I also like the different rims that are used, both of which are fairly accurate to what would have come on an RSX at the time. Now, call me biased, but I like the American rims more because my car had those. And finally, the last of the changes comes in the back, with the spoiler being a lot larger on the Japanese release, and frankly, it looks awesome. Most of the changes on the Japanese release are for the better in my opinion, and I hope it's not coming across as me dogging on the American release. It's a good looking toy, but the Japanese one is just far better in terms of deco. And then they one-upped themselves later on with the blue repaint. This is my favorite repaint of the trio. As you can see, this is just a normal Honda Integra. No graphics, no lights, just a stock, vivid blue pearl Honda Integra fresh off the factory line. It looks so good like this, and I love the attention to detail, with the seats also being remolded in blue to match the lovely paint job. And because this is an Alternators toy, we simply must talk about the features of the car mode. Hood opens up to reveal a nice VTEC 4-cylinder engine, which actually has some good paint hits for such a small accessory. The doors also open, the wheels turn, and the hatchback opens as well. I said it in the Alternators RC video, and I'll say it again here, these alt modes are just perfect from this line.
Overall, this figure is pretty great, especially for the time of 2005. The Alternators line feels akin to that of Masterpiece, just on a lesser scale, but there is such a high degree of quality when it comes to these figures. Robot mode is simple, chunky goodness, and the car mode is just pure perfection. I would have loved to see Alternators continue a little bit more maybe going into the later 2000s, just so that way we could get some more updated and more modern to nowadays cars in this line. But if you really think about it, a lot of that essence was moved from Alternators into Human Alliance. Not perfectly, obviously, but a lot of that DNA went into Human Alliance, and that's another reason why I like that line too. Which reminds me that I really need to talk about those figures, because not only are they cool, I really love them. I mean, I'm sure that a video on Human Alliance Mudflap and Skids and Jazz would probably go over pretty well. Even Soundwave too. I love that Soundwave Human Alliance mode, mainly because I'm a sucker for cars, and I love the SLS and how it has gull wing doors. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on. That's going to do it for this week's video today, guys. And hopefully next week, I don't sound like this, because I'm going to be really annoyed if I still do. But anyways, I will see you guys next Friday. And enjoy your week.